Hello YouTube, I've got another high ELO ranked game here with the teams being Blitzcrank, Rengar, Teemo, Kha'Zix, Draven versus Ezreal, Evelynn, Mundo, Leona, and Nautilus. So it looks like the lane matchups are going to be Rengar versus Nautilus in the jungle. Probably Teemo or Kha'Zix. Probably Kha'Zix top versus Mundo, and Teemo versus Evelynn mid, and then at bottom lane it's probably going to be Draven, Blitzcrank versus Ezreal and Leona. So as far as summoner spells goes, nothing out of the ordinary really here. Flash Barrier on the Ezreal, Flash Ghost on the Teemo, so high mobility we're seeing from there, but everybody else is pretty standard. So as far as the people that we do know that are fairly high, we've got a lot of the CRS team here. We also have Messia is also very familiar, and Moochie Balls is another one that I'm familiar with, but got a couple high ELO people here, and it should make for a pretty solid game. As far as the team comps go, Teemo is probably going to go AP, so blue team is relatively balanced. They do have they're a little CC light in my opinion. Like Blitzcrank offers a lot of CC, but Kha'Zix is a lot of damage, Rengar is a lot of damage, Draven, he's a lot of damage, but he does have stand aside, so that counts. So without further ado, let's get this party started. And Rengar is the jungler. Wow, I just totally botched that. Anyway, okay, so it looks like we're going to be all set. We'll take a quick look at their items. It looks like nobody's running anything out of the ordinary. Teemo is still yet to buy. And so while we have this momentary lull, let's take a quick look at what everybody's running for blue team on Blitzcrank. We see him running with no armor pens. He's got fairly decent armor and MR, so he's probably running a hybrid of the defensive and utility trees. He doesn't have any cooldown reduction, so probably more defensive. So I would guess 2109. 0219 is what. For Rengar, it looks like he's going the standard armor flat AD start with, so he's probably 921 or 219. Not quite sure exactly on there. Teemo is going that AP, so probably 2109 is what I would expect, but he could be 219. He does have a fair amount of armor and MR already, so he's probably running a little bit into that. And it looks like Teemo's actually going to be going top, so we'll change that real quick. Kha'Zix going mid. Kha'Zix looks like he's running armor pen with the flat AD once again with a little bit of cooldown reduction. So it looks like he is 21.9. Yeah, that's what I guess, because he does have that armor and MR. For the Draven, looks like he's got a ton of armor pen. So it looks like he's got full armor pen, marks, and quints. And then he's running defensive everything else, and I'm guessing he's 21.9. So for the purple team, Ezreal running armor pen with flat AD. It looks like he's up to 72 AD, and so he's probably 21.9 as well. Evelynn running looks like that magic pen, so she's probably 21.09 is what I would expect, but she doesn't have a lot in that utility, in that cooldown reduction, so it looks like she decided to go with the attack speed or the bonus damage. I'm not quite sure. For Mundo, looks like he is 921 is what I expect, with not quite sure what kind of marks is going on there. And then for the last but not least, well, not quite last, I'm sorry, Leona, looks like she is some sort of hybrid spec with utility and defensive. And we're trying, and it looks like for Nautilus, he is, wow, he's got a ton of, oh, derp. He's got that blue buff already. Anyway, bottom lane is where a lot of the action is going on. There's the ignite there for Leona. Is going to be able to bring her down. It looks like just, nope, Healing Pot manages to keep her alive. Ezreal gets the first blood there. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to get that second kill. It looks like he just thought that Blitzcrank was going to try and pull him underneath the turret, and so he decided to flash away. Leona does need to be very careful here. So, meanwhile, at mid lane, looks like they're just poking at each other, and top lane, not too much is going on right now. It looks like Nautilus might be going for a quick gank here. And I'm not sure if I finished what I was saying, but Nautilus looks like he's going 0.21.9 or something along those lines, some combination, but he doesn't have the spell pen or that I would expect him to have. So, Rengar looks like he's headed back on the Draven's first back. Looks like he decided to go with, I'm not sure if he had the Elixir of Fortitude the first time, but he got something there. Nothing too substantial, no boots yet. Leona decided to start with boots. That's actually a little bit different compared to most. What? What just happened? Really? He got executed by small golems? Wow, that is so scrubby. Anyway, like that's just bad play. Looks like Evelyn's gonna get killed here, but flashes keep up with her, and Ignite manages to tick for the final hit there. So nice little play there by Kha'Zix, but here comes Leona. Leona and Nautilus going to be trying to do something here. Leona comes in from behind. There's the Nautilus. There's the stun. Lots of damage. Gets locked up, and enough damage with that Leona. What is it? Eclipse Zenith Blade there. Manages to pick up the kill. So far, the gold advantage is about 900 in purple team's favor, mainly from that one kill that they are up. And there is a little bit of a CS advantage over in the jungle, and that losing that execute was really bad. Like, that's going to put this Rengar so far behind. He lost red buff. Like, that's just... Wow, I can't believe that happened. Like, usually it's so bad. Anyway. Guess he just wasn't paying attention. Looks like we're seeing a gank here on this Teemo. Mundo misses that file, and that's going to be unfortunate. Nautilus tries to land the pull there, but manages to... whiff it with the Teemo flashing away. So nice little play there from the Teemo. Looks like he just waited for that Nautilus to head back, and now he is going to reveal once again. And it looks like we're going to see a gank here on this top lane. I doubt it's going to do much here. This Mundo is out-leveling this Teemo just barely. And Rengar doesn't have red buff to really assist, and I don't know, maybe he's just trying out jungle, but right now he's just being so mediocre. So very mediocre with his ganks. Anyway, here comes the Kha'Zix back to mid lane. Looks like he's going to be doing a little bit of poke, and Nautilus is coming around the side here. We'll see what happens here. Kha'Zix doing a little bit of damage. Kha'Zix isn't aware of this Nautilus here. Manages to land the hook there. Doing a little bit of damage. Forced to leap back. There's the Ignite. It looks like the dive is starting. A little bit of damage going down, and it looks like Evelyn is going to survive to live another day. We're going to back it up so we can see that engagement at bottom lane that's also going on simultaneously. Draven gets brought incredibly low, and Blitzcrank trying to defend him as much as possible here. Blitzcrank getting in. There's the passive there. Almost. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. It looks like that directed camera pulled away from the... well, we won't back up again, but we got the gist of it. It looks like... Draven just got a little bit caught out of position, and Blitz sacrificed himself in order to ensure the escape there. Teemo is back at this. Looks like he decided to come down towards mid to prevent this from pushing too much and doing a little bit of damage there, but he did take some pretty considerable amounts of damage there from that Nautilus. Just doing a good job there with his E and his W, just poking away at him with Titan's Wrath and Titan's Wrath and what is that? Death Charge. So it looks like Rengar's going to try and get a little bit of lane XP here, and Teemo looks like he decided to head back. So Draven just farming away at bottom lane. As far as CS goes, Ezreal is a little bit ahead, and he is a kill up, so there is going to be a little bit of a gold advantage there. And looks like Eve she's doing a better job CSing compared to Kha'Zix, but Kha'Zix does also have that kill, but he has also died twice. So let's take a quick look at the gold breakdown here. It is about 2k in purple team's favor, and a lot of that is on it looks like the Nautilus and the Ezreal. And a little bit on that Leona as well. That Blitz skin. I have the worst time seeing those. Draven trying to do a little bit here. Leona's coming back down, so this Ezreal is no longer in solitude, but it looks like Draven's doing a nice job there, poking with his spinning blades. Meanwhile, it looks like we're about to see some sort of fight here at mid lane. There is the Nautilus ultimate, doing tons of damage, manages to land the hook, and Kha'Zix just stands back and watches. What's going on here? Why? This is so... The plays, they're just so scrubby. Like, we've got quite a few high ELO people here, but there's just been... I don't know. Kha'Zix just sitting there and watching. Blitz trying to land the pull there underneath the turret. That's kind of silly. And looks like nobody's going to go down here, but they are going to be brought in pretty low. Do need to be careful. Manages to land one more spinning blade. That should be enough to force this Leona back here. And here comes Evelyn and Nautilus. Evelyn is really low, though. Evelyn manages to get the kill there, even though Draven manages to get the kill based off of the Blitzcrank ensuring that pull there. And it looks like Nautilus might be able to get this kill. Oh, it's going to be close. Misses the death charge, and now he is just on the run. I don't think he's going to be able to get away. It's going to be pretty rough here. It's going to all depend on... Oh, he's manages to land the bind. That might be enough to get the kill. Teemo is coming, though. Manages to land that final dread line and pick up the kill there with an auto attack. And now Teemo is doing a little bit of damage here to that Nautilus, so... That should be enough to force the Nautilus and the Evelyn back here. And let's see if blue team can do a little bit of a push here while purple team is a little vulnerable. So, but with Draven down, they shouldn't be able to do too much. So, looks like Ezreal is back in lane, farming it up a little bit. As far as items go, we do have Nautilus with that boots mobility, so he has that higher ability to clear the jungle just a little bit faster and move around and gank the lanes just a little bit more. And... Kha'Zix's going for that tier of the goddess. Doesn't have any charges yet on it, but he will be building that up fairly quickly. And Evelyn going for that quick haunting guys for the additional damage on low MR targets. So, but yeah, so far a decent game. I wouldn't say it's fantastic, but there's been a lot of misplays so far. Blitz manages to land a nice pull there. That's going to force the arcane shift there from the Ezreal. And it looks like Ezreal is brought a little bit low. And it looks like Leona is going to be ganking here at this mid lane. We'll see if what happens here. There's the ultimate, but whiffs it. And Teemo just taking some pretty considerable damage, gets stunned. Didn't he have vision? No vision. So that was just... well played by Leona, forced him into the Evelyn so she could start poking on him. And it looks like at top lane, here comes the ultimate here from Nautilus, and the Kha'Zix's ultimate tries to slow him down with his W, manages to miss the hook there, but now Kha'Zix is fighting for his life, but Nautilus manages to pick up the kill, and now this Nautilus is very, very fed. 3-0-2 with 44 CS, and Kha'Zix and Rengar here join the fray. Evelyn managing to burn her ultimate there enough to stay alive there, and Rengar just keeping pace here with that red buff on this Leona. But Nautilus comes in, and it looks like he might be able to save this. Oh my gosh, this Nautilus is doing very well. Nice little Draven ult there, manages to pick up the kill there on the Ezreal. Meanwhile, at bottom lane. So Leona getting that Sightstone should provide for a little bit more map control. But right now Leona is doing a very good job while this Blitz is not warding very much, and that's part of the reason why there is a 3k gold advantage. But blue team manages to pick up that that bottom turret, and the first turret goes to them, which will be not significant, but will help them diminish that gold disadvantage they are at. So, and it looks like Rengar's going to go for that Brutalizer into probably the Black Cleaver. Maybe not right away, but that should provide him with a little bit more damage. But I'm actually very surprised he doesn't have boots yet. That seems to be a mistake to me. Junglers really need that mobility when they're ganking. Like, Rengar does have some ability to gank with his bush passive, his ability to leap to targets and whatnot, but just that lack of mobility is just going to prove very problematic probably for him on his ganks, because he's not going to be able to keep up with targets nearly as much, especially now that his red buff's down. So I don't know, I think that's a mistake, not getting boots. Like, we're 11 minutes in and the jungler doesn't have boots. Like, that's a mistake. Mundo doesn't have boots, but he doesn't really need it, like, because he's got the increased mobility with his ultimate. Looks like bottom lane we're seeing a small engage here. Draven and Blitz doing a little bit of damage, but nice Ezreal ult doing tons of damage. Eve comes in from the back, picks up that Draven, and now this Eve is super fed. Super fed, and Blitz, forced to flash over the wall there, is going to give this purple team a pretty significant advantage. They might be able to even do Dragon here, but it looks like Teemo is going to be forced back here towards the safety of his turret, just because Eve Nautilus provides for a lot of scariness to happen there. And this Leona has just been roaming all in between the top and bottom lanes pretty immensely here. And it looks like Mundo manages to finally get that top turret there. Leona flashing, Eing in, doing tons of damage. Eve going to dive here with that red buff, and now she's just doing so much damage. So much damage. Anyway, it looks like Rengar and Ezreal are duking out. Anyway, doing tons of damage to one another. There's the barrier bait, but the Draven ultimate comes in, and that might be enough to ensure the kill. But Rengar goes down with the help of minions. Oh my god. Like, there was a ton of minions there, and they were just doing a good job. This Rengar just is doing a bad job. This is what I was talking about. Like, the Ezreal is just able to kite him there with his tier 2 boots. Like, this Ez is good, don't get me wrong, but that was That was just unfortunate. Leona engaging here on the Blitz. Draven forced back just a little bit, and this Blitz is going to go down. There is the Nautilus ultimate. This should be enough to pick up this Draven, forcing the flash away, and the Sanicide is going to be enough to get him away. And and it looks like Kha'Zix is going to be forced back to the safety of his turret here, and Teemo is just trying to farm away. As far as CS goes, holy crap. That Mundo is so far ahead of everyone. Look at him, 111 CS over, and it looks like he's got about a K gold. And he's going to have that Warmogs. Oh god, he's brought so very low. This Kha'Zix is ulting to try and keep up with him. Manages to pick up the kill there with a nice Q passive. So Mundo finally getting brought down from his whomping for, like, he is just so far ahead of everyone. Like, Draven is the only one that is near him. And this Eve is so fat. Look at her, 5.5K there, gold. Totally accumulated. So it looks like Ezreal does have that BF sword, so now he is actually going to be really starting to become very, very scary. And Mundo getting a second giant spell here is going to give him a little bit more tank there. And that's kind of curious. I decided to go with Bilgewater Cutlass. There is the Leona ult going down. She's trying to keep up with this Draven. Ezreal manages to Arcane Shift, keep up, and the exhaust is going to be enough to ensure the kill here. Blitz is coming though. Manages to pull the Ezreal and ensure the kill there. And that is just rough. But now this Blitz is most likely dead because this Eve is so fed. Look at her, just tears through the health. Absolutely tears. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a 20-minute surrender here for Blue Team, because this Eve is just a huge problem, and this Nautilus is also a problem. Like, the Ezreal is a minor problem, but this Eve is just absolutely wreaking havoc right now, and this Draven is the only one that's really that is able to keep up right now. Rengar still doesn't have boots. What the hell, Rengar? Anyway, sorry, we'll watch that. Wasn't paying that much attention. Looks like Eve just does a nice little gank here on the Teemo, waiting for Teemo to almost finish this up. Comes in, ults, does tons of damage, slows him down, and manages to pick it up there with a nice Q. And we have a legendary player on a high and low ranked game. Oh my gosh. Pretty ridiculous, guys. Pretty ridiculous. Eve triggering all sorts of mushrooms there. Gonna go back, farm up a little bit, but it looks like she is starting to get pretty ridiculous. Leona getting that Emblem of Valor is going to slowly build that into that Aegis, and once that Aegis goes through, it's going to be provide for pretty huge effects there for her team. Mundo doing what he can here to keep this Kha'Zix from farming too much, but unfortunately, that Ignite is going to be huge, and this Mundo is in a world of hurt right now. Forced to flash away, but it looks like he might be able to get away here. And Ezreal needs to be careful. This Rengar is engaging on him. Draven doing a little bit, but I think this is a misengage by Rengar. That Leona ultimate is going to be enough for Ezreal to ensure the kill there with his ultimate. And Eve comes in, flashes to keep up with the Kha'Zix, manages to bring him down there with one more Q. Mundo not even getting the assist there. And now this Draven, they're just dancing around here at this bottom lane, and this Ezreal is doing very steady damage to this Blitz. This Blitz needs to be very, very careful. The exhaust goes down on this Ezreal to prevent him from doing too much. But here comes the Nautilus from behind here on this Teemo, doing pretty incredible amounts of damage, binding him once again. Blitz managing to land the pull here at this bottom lane, and Leona trying to do a dive here for this Ezreal. Manages to pick up the double kill for that team, and there's an ace. Holy crap. We're going to back it up just so we can see that Nautilus pick up the Teemo a little bit more readily here. So manages to bait him out. There's the Nautilus ultimate, just manages to absolutely destroy him here with red buff and all that sustained damage that Nautilus does. And there's the ace. Holy snap. Just barely managed to get that ace before the Rengar. And right now, I'm like... The main reason why Blue Team is having so much problems is because Rengar did not do a particularly good job of his jungle. That early death absolutely destroyed his jungle, and then he didn't do anything really to benefit. Like, yeah, he wanted to get that bone tooth necklace, but he should have gotten boots. Like, he just should have. And basically, the biggest differences that we are seeing right now is the fact that Blue Team has not had an active jungler, and look, he's just getting destroyed. He's just too far behind. This Mundo just ravaged him, and this Nautilus is just showing extreme lane presence. This game is pretty much over. Oh dear. Like, I would almost bet money that this game surrenders at 20 minutes, because right now, with all the turrets down and Purple Team having such a crazy advantage, this Eve, look at her, she's just doing incredible amounts of damage. Leona manages to keep up with that Teemo, even though he flashes over the wall, and Eve just shredding this Draven, and these carries, they're just getting absolutely destroyed. Kha'Zix gets... Oh my gosh, he might be able to get away. Ezreal goes down, but whiffs. Leona trying to keep up with this Blitzcrank. Everybody is trying to, I don't know. Leona taking all sorts of tower hits. I think she's starting to get a little greedy. Ezreal clearing the minion waves from behind the turret, trying to allow that mid turret to push down just even a little bit more. Mundo and Nautilus are coming up the mid lane. Here, it looks like we're going to see a 3-man push here on this mid turret. But Eve decides to go towards top, clear that minion wave, and it looks like Purple Team bottom lane is going to slowly work their way back, because they do have that Blitzcrank Rengar coming. But they are so incredibly low. Leona does get pulled, and that's going to ensure the kill there for that Rengar. But this Ezreal is still pretty scary. Here comes the Nautilus coming around along the side. Looks like he might be able to land a pull. Nope. And Mundo just chomping away at this mid turret here. Like, Teemo can't even do anything for him. Do anything to prevent it. And that tier 2 turret being down just opens up the map immensely for this Purple Team. And we haven't seen very many dragons even. Like, I missed one apparently, but Purple Team just has a 10k gold advantage, and we have 1 minute to go till towards that 20-minute mark when I expect to see this surrender to go down. So, but we'll stick it out, see what happens here. As far as items go, Eve does have that Deathfire Grasp, so that's going to be pretty significant. Mundo just getting all sorts of Giants belts. Holy crap! Look at all those Giants belts. Everybody's so tanky. Teemo deciding to go with that Leander's Torment for that additional sustained and poking damage, but I think he's about to get ravaged here by Leona Ezreal. And Ezreal's on a killing spree here. Here comes the Eve. They did get vision of her, so this blue team is running away. And yeah, I think I don't know. I don't see any way in which blue team can win this unless purple team is caught horribly out of position and Blitz lands like the greatest pull in the world. But even then, so many people are fed on purple team where I doubt they can even make a comeback. Like, I don't think they even have the ability to like kill this Mundo very easily once he starts building these Giants belts and items. So anyway, Nautilus kind of just diving, allowing his purple team to do as much damage as possible to this turret. There's a nice little pull there on the Nautilus, but he manages to pull himself away there with his Dreadline. And Kha'Zix just taking so much damage there. Eve comes in along the side, ulting in, doing some pretty considerable amounts of damage, and I think Blitz is going to go down. Nautilus manages to land the hook there on the Draven, and Leona manages to dash to him, but I think this Draven is going to be so close, and there is the surrender right at the 20-minute mark. And that is it. Nice little one-sided game here. Well played, except for the Rengar. I found the Rengar to be very disappointing with his play. Anyway, hope you guys did enjoy it. If you like what you see, please let me know down in the comment section below. Favorite, like, subscribe, share if you really like it. And one more time, I'd like to thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.